just like a friend from back home.
This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.
PHLV Radio.
Hello, everybody. It's Friday night. If you're watching us in the Pacific or in Los Angeles, good evening, everybody. It is exactly at 9:04 p.m. And if you're watching us in the Philippines, magandang tanghali sa inyong lahat. It's 12:04 on a beautiful Saturday. It's kind of humid, I was told. It's kind of hot as expected kasi summer na. So it's definitely just make sure you guys are hydrated. Drink lots of water if you could, please, so you don't have any heat wave or anything. Now, if you're watching us in different parts of the world, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And of course, hello to our team replay and team share. Yeah, before anything else, hello to our first honor, si Sophie Teves. Sophie, happy viewing sa'yo, especially regards to June as well. Oh, Desi Santos is watching us from the Philippines. I think Kabatuan, District 1 in Quezon City. So happy viewing sa inyo. Before anything else, we are live on different platforms, namely Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Simultaneously, we are live on PHLB Radio Facebook page. So happy viewing to everybody who's logging in. And if you are watching, simultaneously, we're live also on PHLB Radio YouTube channel. So hopefully all you guys are already subscribed. All you have to do is like, share, and subscribe to PHLB Radio so you won't miss any of our shows. So you could just click on that notification bell. And if you're using Alexa, just say, Alexa, play PHLB Radio. And if you're using Amazon Fire TV, just look for PHLB Radio channel. And if you have any questions or comments or anything you want to tell us about or any concern that you might have about any of our shows, feel free to log on to PHLB Radio web page, which is www.phlbradio.com. Yan. Ako, ang ganda ng topic for today. But before anything else, happy Mother's Day this Sunday to everybody, all the mothers, regardless of where you are, who you are. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Being a mom is really not a walk in the park. So those people who we have our mothers still around, this is the time to celebrate them, to be thankful and be grateful, because mothers, they are the gift from God. And don't worry, Father's Day will be next month in June, so we'll greet them as well. But for now, the highlight of on Sunday would be our mothers, all the mga mothers, whether still alive or mothers in heaven. Happy Mother's Day. Yan. And of course, public service announcement. Nako, this is very important. This coming May 12 is the Philippine midterm election. So those people who are watching us, Filipinos abroad, nako, there's a good news. If you are not familiar yet, it has been extended. Here you go. We're showing it on screen. The overseas voting important dates, it has been extended up to, yung registration po is up to Friday, tomorrow, May 10. You could definitely still vote if you would, but before anything else, you need to make sure you are registered. And the deadline for that registration is tomorrow, May 10, which is Friday. And then, of course, the voting period would be, well, it's already started April 13 to May 12, up to 7 p.m. And then this is the highlight of every. I think this is gonna be very, very controversial, much contested. All the psychic, I've been watching them today. They're already declaring some people who would be winning, and of course there's artistas, and of course there's some I would say controversy on that. So I think my advice, Kuya Josh advice is vote wisely. Okay, let's not vote based on personality or popularity, but yung pong iboto natin, yung may magagawa. So look at their platform, look at their history, look at what they have done in the past, especially yung mga running or who would like to be senators again and congressman or congresswomen. It's a very, very important that we know what they stand for, what they adhere to, what they have accomplished, and vote wisely. Sabi nga, if the person you should vote is wisely. Yan. So important. So again, let us show again, it's voting. And the way to do it, enrollment period para sa internet voting, it will be extended hanggang May 10 po. Ang enrollment period para sa internet voting ng mga registered voters, mag-enroll na. All you have to do, there's this QR code and we're showing that as well. I think it's the next slide. There's a QR code po to register. It's really easy. All it needs really is your Philippine passport if you are overseas Filipino workers or overseas or Filipinos abroad. You need to have either your Philippine driver's license or your Philippine passport. And if you are a seafarer, there's another ID for that. A lot of people are asking, pwede ba kung dual ka ay bumoto? As long as meron ka pong Philippine passport or there's 5 items that you could, yung senior card po, hindi po siya allowed. Yung Philippine senior card na in-issue, it's not considered. And to know more about this criteria or qualification, all you have to do is log on to the Philippine Consulate General, Los Angeles. Yan po. Ayan yung QR code. If you could take a picture of that, it will lead you to another link where you could register. But I've done it, so I just have a Philippine passport because I'm dual as well. Some people already asked me, and I'm helping them, if they could use their dual certificate. No, dual certificate is not considered a valid ID. So there's 5 IDs, and most of them that applies really to Filipinos abroad really are the Philippine passport or the driver's license Philippine issued. Yan. So it's again, vote wisely. Tomorrow is the deadline to register. But after the registration on the 10th, which is Friday tomorrow, you still have up to May 12, up to 7 p.m. to vote. Madali lang po talaga. And if those our yung mga hindi po techie, people who are not really great when it comes to technology, you could always go to the Philippine Consulate in Los Angeles or any Philippine Consulate offices that you have in your area where you belong. And then, of course, there's some, they have kiosks there, and there's some people who would be assisting you. So you could register and vote if you would like, and it's easier that way. This was, of course, courtesy of all the Philippine Consulate across the globe. Yan. So make it count. It is our duty po. So wag tayo magreklamo if things are not happening the way it should, especially when we don't vote, we don't participate, and we don't do our due diligence to vote, because vote po is a privilege and it's your right being a Filipino, whether you're dual or you are a Filipino citizen. For sure, you should vote. Okay? So maraming salamat for that public service announcement. Now, let me okay, let's see who else. Adele Ordinario is watching us from Long Beach, California. Oh, my good friend Gilda Cooper, the happy viewing. And of course, all the mothers, yan. Si Sophie, si Desi, si Adele, si Gilda. Happy Mother's Day to all of you as well as to everybody else. Si Daisy Abadia is watching also. Happy viewing sa iyo, Daisy. I think, Daisy, if you're not traveling, maybe the last time I seen you was in San Francisco. I think I saw your post, and I hopefully, and Daisy is also from Koreatown in Los Angeles. So happy viewing sa'yo, Daisy. It's been a while since I last saw you. So our topic for today, this is so. Oh, by the way, we have a new pope for our Christian world, from our Christian brothers and sisters, Catholic brothers and sisters. It is so important, as we all know, our the dearly departed Pope Francis, of course, passed away. At he was already buried, and of course, you know that there was a conclave that happened among the cardinals, and they have that, and of course, I think it's all over the news. We have a new pope, and this is a history making pope because this is after 2,000 years. Now we have a pope from America, and that is Pope. And the new name now, or the name he decided to have, is Pope Leo the 14th. So, and he is from Chicago, but he is a dual citizen of Peru, because he stayed in Peru for the longest time, and you could read all his background. It's all over the internet. So let's pray for our new Pope, especially, and congratulations to our Christian and Catholic brothers and sisters, because this is something that they were praying for. And of course, there was a lot of disappointment for our Filipino friends and family, because we were hoping that Cardinal Tagle would be one of them, or will be the chosen pope, and that would have been an history making. That's why there's a lot of Filipinos who flew into Rome, and because they were hoping, because based on a lot of things that's coming out from a lot of sources, Cardinal Tagle was considered a front runner. I think he was placed as number 2, but like what he said, he already made an announcement that a selection is a spiritual thing. It's guided by the Holy Spirit. It's not based on popularity. It's not based on whom you know, but it's designated by God. And this is coming from Cardinal Tagle. So let's all pray and be joyful, and let's hope and let's keep praying for the new Pope, Pope Leo the 14th. So yan, ako, daming mga sidelines. So si Hilda is watching as well. Si Daisy said, hi Josh, hi to you too. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in this Sunday. So so anyways, eto na. So there's a lot of as you know, Pope Francis was buried, right? And he's one of those that's very, very different compared to the other popes, because he's the one who made sure that he would be buried outside of the Vatican City. And for those people who are not aware, Vatican City is the smallest country in the world. Okay, so pag nag-trivia questions kayo, pag sabi, what's the smallest country in the world? Ang sagot po ay Vatican City. And I'll tell you the story behind that, not today, but in our succeeding shows. So majority, or most of the Pope who passed away, they're buried within the Vatican City at St. Peter's Basilica. But this particular Pope, after a century, I believe, he decided to be buried outside of the walls of the Vatican City. So he was buried at the Basilica of Saint Mary Major, or Basilica Santa Maria Maggiore. Now, I think you've seen some pictures or some videos. It was just not really highlighted, because that's not what the occasion is about. Everything focused on the funeral and the burial of Pope Francis. But and lo and behold, I when I was watching the event, the funeral procession, I saw the church, I saw the basilica, and it dawned on me, I was there in this basilica. I have seen it and I have great pictures of the particular basilica and the significance of that, and the significance of that basilica, and the relics that's in there. And that's the topic that we're going to be talking about tonight, because those are very important facts that you need to know, and it's really one of those that you need put it on your bucket list when you go to Rome. Aside from visiting, which is the obvious, the Vatican City, there's other basilicas. There's four of them that we'll be mentioning today, and we're gonna be talking about that in a minute. Also, in this particular episode, we will touch upon also the redemptionist Mother of Perpetual Help, the iconic, the original icon, meaning the original painting, the original. Remember, especially for Filipinos, majority who are really a devotee of the Lady of Perpetual Help in Baclaran. I think it's known now that I normally would go there if I'm in Manila. And then of course you hear mass and there's an adoration every day. The Redemptionist Church, or Our Lady, the Baclaran Church, which is the Lady of Perpetual Help, they are open 24/7, and of course that's the iconic portrait is there. But if and one of my desire, one of my bucket list is to find the original icon, and I was blessed also during my trip to Rome that I was able to find. I was able to discover where it is, and lo and behold, it was just so near the Basilica of Mary Maggiore, or the Basilica of Saint Mary Major. So, but I didn't know because I was not looking for the basilica. I was more in tune looking for the icon portrait of Our Lady of Perpetual Help. So, because of the burial of Pope Francis, so, and I saw that, so I have to retrieve all my files and my videos, and we'll show that to you in a minute, because it's really a good experience, and I wish that it's so surreal. The feeling is just unbelievable. It's one of those, and one of the reason that you need to go and visit the Basilica of Saint Mary Major or Maggiore is because of the relics in there. They said that, and I was able to see it, the relic of the manger, the holy manger where Jesus was laid. Remember when he was born in Bethlehem, he was put in a manger. There's a relic there, and we'll show that to you on video as well as picture of that, and I'll definitely talk about that in detail. On two other things that the relics there would be the relic of the Saint Matthew as well. That will go and we'll describe that. CM Mendy is watching as well. Hi CM. Ernie is watching as well. Adele said, "Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone." Hi Adele. And who else? Okay, let's start now. Let's show first some pictures. I think you're ready. First the pictures. Okay, before anything else, and there's always a people would always ask me, what's the difference between cathedral and a church and basilica? Well, a cathedral is primary church of diocese and houses the bishop throne. Okay, so that's what a cathedral is. A basilica, on the other hand, is a church designated by the Pope as having special importance due to its historical, cultural, or spiritual significance. So now we know what's the difference between cathedral and basilica. Okay, the church that was designated by the Pope becomes a basilica. And it's designated because it has spiritual, it has cultural, as well as historical significance. So while many basilicas are also considered cathedrals, but not all not all cathedrals are considered basilica. Okay? Pag tayong malito doon. Okay. let's show first a. Oh, well, there's four basilicas in Rome that if you happen to be visiting, like in your lifetime or in your travel or in your bucket list, there's four papal basilicas located in Rome. One is, of course, the obvious is the Saint Peter Basilica of the Vatican. That's where Pope Leo the 14th. Remember, he went out right after the white smoke, and then he was introduced and he went out, and that's Saint Peter's. Okay, now then there's the Saint John Lutheran, and of course, what we're going to show later is Saint Mary Major, and the last one is Saint Paul's outside of the wall. So those are the four major basilicas out within within Rome. Okay, now let's show first some pictures of so this is the outside. This is the facade of the Basilica of Saint Mary Major or Maggiore. It is the largest and oldest Marian shrine in the Western world, of course dedicated to the Blessed Mary. The basilica houses precious Marian relics, including pieces of holy manger where Jesus was laid. And where it is, we'll show you there. It is venerated under the high altar and the iconic Salus Populi Romani painting, and we'll talk about that too. And that's supposed to be an iconic painting of of Blessed Mother with Christ, and it was supposedly, legend says, it was painted by Saint Luke, the apostle. Okay, now as we all know, this particular basilica, the or the Basilica of Saint Mary Major, this is where Saint Pope Francis or Pope Francis was buried. Okay, and it was his request among the many requests that he asked, because I think by now all popes they were buried in three coffins, but unlike Pope Francis, he only asked for a very simple, because he lived in humility and poverty, and he's a very simple man, and it's really worth knowing Pope Francis and how he lived his life. So anyway, one of the thing that is so significant about this church is every time Pope Francis would leave and to do some travel outside of the Vatican City, he will first stop and pray at this particular basilica. And when he comes back from his trip, he will again come back and pray to the Blessed Virgin in this basilica. As a matter of fact, the last time he visited was right after he was discharged. Remember, he was put in ICU for a while, and then he recovered. And then, of course, upon his discharge, his request was to pass by so he could pray to the Blessed Virgin to this Basilica of Saint Mary Major or Maggiore. Okay, and of course, that's where he was laid to rest. Now, we're showing you different picture of the facade, and you'll see that the Basilica of Saint Mary Major in Rome is like what I said, it is known for housing the relic of the Holy Crib, also known as the Holy Manger, and we'll show that really. And this relic consists of 5 pieces of sycamore wood believed to be from the manger where Jesus was laid. Okay, and then the basilica is also home of the relics of Saint Matthew and Saint Jerome. Yeah, so we're showing you some of the highlight. See, that's the basilica. And then now what we're showing right now on screen, and hold on to that screen, it is what I was telling you, it's the Salus Populi Romani painting. And what it means, it is Italian, and it's a Roman Catholic title associated with the venerated image of the Blessed Virgin Mary in Rome. Okay, now the image is one of the so-called Luke images believed to have been painted from real life, but Saint Luke himself. Okay, then what they said is after the crucifixion, this is the legend now. After the crucifixion, when Our Lady, meaning when Mama Mary or Mother Mary, moved to the home of John the Apostle, remember? She took with her a few personal belongings, among which was a table built by the Redeemer, built by Jesus in the workshop of St. Joseph. When pious virgins of Jerusalem prevailed upon St. Luke's to paint the portrait of the Mother of God. Okay, and then so basically the wood, the painting was made on the table, and then legend also tells us that the painting remained in and around Jerusalem until it was discovered by Saint Helena in the 14th century. And then, together with other sacred relics, the painting was transported to Constantinople, where her son, Emperor Constantine the Great, erected a church for its enthronement. Okay, now, this particular painting was painted on a thick cedar panel because that was a table, remember? Mary, this particular one, and I think we have a close-up of this one on the next slide. Mary wears a gold trim dark blue mantle over a purple red tunic. The letters in Greek at the top identify Mary as Mother of God, as is usual in Byzantine art. Christ is holding a book. I think we have that picture. Yo, can we show that? I think we have a close-up. If not, it is what it is. Christ is holding a book in his left hand, presumably the gospel book. His right hand is raised in a blessing, and it is Mary, not he, who looks directly out of the viewers. Yan. So this very, okay, then you would ask me, Salus Populi Romani is a Latin praise. Yeah, there you go. Latin praise that translates to help, salvation of the Roman people. It is a title specifically used for a venerated image of the Blessed Virgin Mary held in the Basilica of Saint Mary Major in Rome. The icon is a central figure in the Marian devotion, particularly in Rome. Salus Populi Romani refers to Mary's role as the protector and savior of the people of Rome. That's why it's Salus Populi Romani. This title is associated with a specific image of Mary believed to have been painted by St. Luke, like what I said earlier, and is said to have been miraculously responsible for saving Rome from a plague in the 6th century, according to tradition. The icon is still venerated by the faithful and is a significant part of the Marian devotion in Rome. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why people would do a pilgrimage aside from the relic of the Holy Manger. One of the reason they go that is because of the Salus Populi Romani painting that supposedly, according to legend and tradition, the painting was painted by Saint Luke himself. Yeah, so this is the main altar of the Mary Major, the Basilica of Mary Major. Okay, let's see what else I could talk to you about. It's really it's really one of those. And look at the ceiling of that. It is so amazing. This particular basilica. It's one of those that I really, really recommend. If you have a chance to go visit, it is one to behold because the whole place is it's a work of art. The whole ceiling has it's all paintings and it's wood carves on both sides, and you could just spend hours and hours of those. And then that's we're showing more of the pictures. And then I think we could show also the relic of the Holy Manger. Let's go. Let's show some slide and I'll just describe where they are. Yeah, so this is what they're saying, the main altar, the high altar. It's underneath, and you go down the stairs. Underneath this main or the high altar is where the relic of the Holy Manger or the crib, the holy crib, where Jesus was born and was laid. And that was there's this relic, there's the pieces of wood that were used for the holy manger. So let's show some more slides. Okay, there's more. So this is the high altar, and that's again they're showing again the Bapulis, and there's more. I think we're stuck with our painting here, and because there's pictures of the crib itself, because it was you have to go. Okay, these are that's the going leading to the main chapel. Okay, okay, that's the ceiling again. Are we losing some of the pictures, yo? Because there's some pictures that's really would show the relic itself. Hold on. Hopefully, I could retrieve it on my phone. Let's see. Hopefully, they could find it. This is how it looks. No, I sent it to our team, but I think they're having difficulty of because you have to see it. And let's see if I could retrieve it. Let's see, guys. Sorry about that. You know how it is. Um, holy, because this was given to our team. I don't have it in my Oh, wait. There's. I'll try to show it to you using. Let's see if I could find it. Hopefully, location. Okay, hold on, guys, because it's really a sight to see, and I don't know. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So this is the crib. That's the holy manger. It's the relic of the holy manger, and I think there's one that is a closer video of that, and I'll show you some video after this. Can we put that again? So that's the wood made of sycamore, and they are. See, I missed already my hold on, my cheat sheet. Hold on, guys. Okay, so it's a relic. It has like 5 pieces of the wood that was used, and it's supposed to be the relic of the holy manger. So I think now we could play the video, of the basilica itself. So at least I could do the voiceover as well, and you see what I'm talking about. This particular relic, this particular manger, the holy manger, it's underneath the high altar or the main altar. And if we could, if the video, once you see the video, you would understand what I'm talking about. Here you go. Yeah. So there you go. That's the video. So see, I try to capture um, uh, the whole facade as well as the inside and the ceiling of how beautiful this basilica is. It's really very grand. It has you feel so there's this feeling of so surreal, and you feel so close to the creator. And then see, that's the main altar right now, and underneath there's some people, and don't worry, we'll go there in a minute. I'll just showing you the surrounding of that. So there's that's on you're seeing now, and the left hand side. So see there, and we'll see that close up now on your left hand side. You'll see that's where that's the painting of the Blessed Virgin Mary, and then we'll go there as well. So now you're seeing the whole surrounding of the Basilica of Saint Mary Major. We went there at a very good time because there was no service, so people are just going in and admiring the beautiful uh, basilica as well as the devotee of the Marians of the Blessed Virgin Mary. They're doing the rosaries and novenas, but the mass was already over when we went there. See how like yeah, so how polite the people are when they know that I'm taking video, they will try to avoid not to be in front of the camera that I was using. See, that's why I recommend when you aside when you happen to be in Rome, make sure you do visit this basilica because there's aside from St. Peter, which has the Sistine Chapel and it's inside the Vatican City, this is kind of outskirt. It's not that far. Actually, you could walk from St. Peter Basilica to this basilica as well. So now you got the whole 360 degrees that I tried to capture. And then now we're going down to the crib itself. So that's the high altar I was talking to you about. Yeah, and this is where they celebrate the Mass. And of course, they do all the religious events and the, the, the other sacraments that the Catholics, the seven sacraments that the Catholics would have and would observe, and then that's how beautiful this. I was in awe. Yeah, so now we're going down. We were so careful because I was holding my camera while I'm trying to carefully and cautiously go down the stairs. Yeah, so I was very, very careful. You could tell, too afraid. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, so you go down several flights of stairs. Yeah, there's then a lot. I think a lot of people are not too familiar or not aware, and everybody was just going there for the painting, but they didn't know about the relic of the Holy Manger or the Holy Crib. So that's why there's not a lot of people in this area. Everybody was flocked into that uh, Papuli painting of St. Luke's. And that's how it will go. So it's underneath the main altar. And some people are praying because this is how close you could get to the Redeemer, to baby Jesus. This is the relic again of the manger. That's the yeah. So it is so surreal. I can't hold my camera at the same time. That's why it's kind of like moving. So at the time, yeah. So that's how it looks. So beautiful. It gives you. It's a different feeling. Um, there's this. Yeah, and and this one for some reason I accused this because I didn't know that I was still holding while I was making my saying my devotion. So there you go. Yeah. Now, so after that, so I went up. Okay, and then now this is where the painting is, the one that was by legend. That was the what I was talking to you about. The Salus Populi Romani. Yeah. And the reason why I was not able to go in all the way is because they just had the mass when we went there, and this is where it was held. So people are coming out, and then you there's this because you cannot take videos. You could only be on the outskirt or by the gate, but that's how it is. Like what I said, it was supposed to be made by Saint Luke the Evangelist, one of the apostle, and of course, Saint Luke is the patron saint of painters. Now, you might ask me, how big is the painting? The panel is made of cedar wood, 117 times 79 centimeter, and then it depicts a half figure of Our Lady with the child Jesus in her arms. Yan. So again, if you have a chance to be in Rome and you make some time to visit the Basilica, because now I know for a fact, because I have some friends who are there for the announcement of the new Pope. And now this place, I was told, is very busy now, because that's where where Pope Francis was laid to rest. So now it becomes like people would like to pay the respect and wants to view it. It's a very simple tomb. I would definitely, when I go back to Rome, hopefully sometime soon, then I would definitely have a better video of the tomb, or where Pope Francis was laid to rest. And of course, now it becomes now an attraction more than what it is. Aside from the Salus Populi Romani painting, aside from the relic of Saint Jerome and Saint Matthew, as well as the relic of the Holy Crib or the Holy Manger, now another point of interest that most pilgrimage would do is the tomb of Pope Francis, who was laid there. Yeah, so that's what it is about for the Basilica of Saint Mary Major, or Basilica of Maggiore, Maria Maggiore. Yeah, in Italian. Now, next stop, which is not far from that, because remember I was telling you earlier, one of the reason why I was one of the reason, aside from the Vatican, which I've been there so many times, so for this particular trip, it was deliberate for me to skip the Vatican City, because every time I go to Rome, I always go to the Vatican City, and I think we already covered that in one of the shows. So, what I was looking for, and one of my bucket list, was to find the icon, the original icon of the Lady of Perpetual Help. And while in search of that, I didn't know that they are so close to each other. So the video would not show that I went to looking first for the icon of the Lady of Perpetual Help, and then on the way back to the hotel, then I by chance we saw this Basilica of Saint Mary Major. So it was not really an intention for me to go there, but since it was on our way back to the hotel, so I said, "Wow, it's a beautiful building." It was a basilica. I was not even aware of the history. I was not even aware of the cultural significance, the religious significance of the basilica. So now we're gonna show you the other church that I visited. Once I get, let's see if who else is watching us. Let's see. So I could give a shout out. Hold on. I'm working on so many phones today, guys. So yeah. So okay, let's see. Adele, what are you asking about? What's the crown? What's the crown? Not sure. Okay. Anyways, so the next stop we did was the church. Okay, this is the church of Saint Adolphus, where the iconic of the icon of Our Lady of Perpetual Help is housed. Okay, and that is the Church of Saint Alphonsus Maria de Liguori. Okay, again, it's the Church of Saint Alphonsus Maria de Liguori. And like what I said, this is like a couple of blocks away from the Basilica of Mary Major. So, if you are a devotee of the Perpetual Help of the Baclaran, this is where you would find the original icon. Okay, and now, as they said, the Church of Saint Alfonso is the home of the original icon of our Mother of Perpetual Help. Okay, the original painting, and this is the facade of that church. Okay, let's see if we could go to the next slide. Yeah, so there's another. So this is like as we enter, it's lots of steps, And then you show the altar. Next slides, please. Yeah, that's the altar. The original painting of Our Lady, it's right in front, okay? The original painting of Our Lady Perpetual Hope is the most widely recognized icon in the world. The history of the painting, you see that right in front at the middle? It's if you've been to Baclaran Church, it's almost like that. So if you could hold on to that one. The history of the image is an interesting one, involving theft, war, and vision of the Blessed Virgin Mary. You can read the full story, of course, by Googling it. And the fascinating part is Our Lady specifically requested that the image be placed in a certain church between St. Mary Major and St. John Lateran, which was the church of St. Matthew. Okay? Okay, and the history is this. In January 1855, the Redemptionists, remember the Baclaran Church is the Redemptionist Church. The Redemptionists order purchased a villa located here for their headquarters. They were unaware of the fact that the land they had purchased was actually the location of the church and monastery of St. Matthew, the very place which the Virgin Mother Mary had specified for the image to be placed. Okay, now this particular ritual icon is not very large. It's about 16 by 20 inches in size, but it is of great significance to many Catholics and Christians who have sought the intercession of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Okay. So there's more slides on that. Yeah, so that's in front of the altar. Yeah, there you go. So people who are devotee of Our Lady of Perpetual Hope or Mother of Perpetual Hope, if you look at this image or this slide or this picture that you're seeing right now, this is it's almost a replica of what we see at the Baclaran Church in Pasay, right? See, but this is the iconic. It's the 1855. Yeah, see, there you go. That's a closer look. It's exactly the same, but it's 16 by 22, I said earlier. Yeah, and then of course, right after the pictures, we'll have the video of the whole church. So seeing this is just like one, I was so happy. I was in cloud nine. I can't believe that I was privileged and blessed to 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 see it. And of course, you could go as close as you can to the altar. And there's some cautionary things that you cannot and cannot do. You cannot touch it. You cannot reach out to it, but you could pray on it, or for it, or with it. And then of course there's in different languages, and that's the what you're seeing on your screen right now is the notice of and then the history, of course, of Our Lady of Perpetual Help. And they said that it's also known as the Lady of Impossible Impossibilities, meaning anything that you ask of the lady, if it's good for you, it's gonna be, and it's always given to you. And this is the whole art of the Saint Alphonsus Church. Again, we came in there at the right time. There was no service going on, so we're able and we were allowed to take as much pictures and video as we can, because there's no service going on. If there is a service going on, we are not allowed to take pictures, let alone videos. Yeah, I think now we're ready to show you the video of this church. This is the inside of the church, and this is how close I can get. So it reminds you of the Baclaran Church, guys, right? If you are a devotee or you're a Marian devotee, so that's how it is. So very simple, yeah. very solemn, very sacred. Again, what you're seeing is the inside of the Church of Saint Alphonsus Maria Liguori. And one thing that I would tell you and share with you, that's why I took a video of those Anturium, because at the time there's some things that I was asking for signs, and lo and behold, I got the sign that I wanted through those flowers of Anturium. Because who would think that of all places I would see those flowers, Anturium flowers. So again, one of the things that I highly recommend and suggest to everyone, if you would have a chance to visit Rome in this lifetime, and aside from the Vatican and Saint Patrick's Basilica, or Basilica of Saint Patrick, and of course seeing the Sistine Chapel and doing the whole Vatican route, try to visit the Basilica of Saint Mary Major or Maggiore, and also if you are a Marian devotee, and just if to kill your curiosity to see the original icon of the Our Lady of Perpetual Help, I suggest, since it's not that far from each other anyway, make a special trip, because you would be so blessed. You will feel blessed. You will feel special. There's this feeling of lightness that you would feel seeing them and being able to see the holy crib or the manger where Jesus was laid upon birth, and also seeing the iconic painting of Saint Luke's, and of course now we could add, aside from the relic of Saint Matthew and Saint Jerome, now we have the tomb where Pope Francis was laid, and that alone is already a good reason why you should visit this particular Basilica of Saint Mary Major, as well as to see the icon, the original icon of the Lady of Perpetual Help, which is housed at the Church of Saint Alphonsus Mary Liguori. And that basically is our show for today. And let's see. Si Hazel Bay Santos is watching us from Houston, Texas. And happy viewing to you. And of course, thank you for staying up, because I know Hazel is based in Houston, Texas. And happy viewing also to Larry. I think Larry's working today. So, but thank you for you guys. I am so thankful for you guys to always supporting the shows. And that is it's not very long show today, simply because I just want to highlight the significance of the Basilica where Pope Francis was laid, at the same time the Our Lady of Perpetual Help, being that Sunday will be Mother's Day. So I try to tap into that in honor of all the mothers in the world, and regardless where you are, and regardless whether you are still here on earth or in heaven, happy Mother's Day to everybody. Also, I again, when we first started, please do register, especially Filipinos abroad. We I think we could show again that yeah. So tomorrow is the deadline to register. It was extended up to tomorrow, May 10, 2025. You could still register to vote. It's an online voting for Filipinos abroad. And of course, and you could always log into any of the Philippine consulate in your area for instructions. But if you could take a picture of that QR code, that's the instruction you would need. Yeah, see, there you go. Thank you. Our back office was able to highlight it. Or if you cannot take a picture, you could just go to HTTPS uh, OVO as in Orange, V as in Victor, .comelec.gov.ph slash enroll. So you need to enroll first, and tomorrow is the deadline, May 10, and then you could vote until May 12th. Again, this is a very interesting election, a midterm election for the Philippines, and I think they need all our support. Again, my I'm encouraging everybody, if you could vote, vote. It's our right, it's our privilege, and do not complain with the kind of leadership we have if you did not participate. Remember, we have people in our midst that all they do is badger and complain about how things are, the rising prices, the inflation. But that if you ask them, did you vote for these leaders? And they say, oh, no, I didn't vote. So you don't have the right to complain if you didn't vote. You don't have the right to say all these nasty things about the government, because it was, you did not really vote for these people who are really the leaders that would take us to the next step. So my Kuya Josh is now asking you, all of us, especially the Filipinos abroad, please do register tomorrow and vote. Vote wisely. Again, who do you vote for? Wisely. Don't vote because they're popular, because they're good looking, because they promise the heaven and earth. Look at their if there are re-electionists, look at their achievements, look at what they have done, look at their performance, and if they're brand new leaders, look at their personality, look at their qualifications. Don't vote because they are famous or they are uh, artistas. That there's nothing wrong being an artista as long as they're there, willing to support, willing to serve. That's the key, because public office is a public trust. Hindi po ito gawa-gawa lang. Hindi po ito ay whim lang, parang gusto mo lang tumulong. Because if you just want to help, then if you're asking what's my take on senators and congressmen, they are part of legislative branch of government. Ano ba ang legislative? They are there to make laws, to create laws. Hindi po ito yung because I know one of the one of the candidates says wala siyang platform, wala siyang until he or she would win. That's the only time he would think of his plataforma or platform. But his intention is to help the poor. Now, if your desire is to help the poor, then you are not supposed to be running for a seat in be a senator or a congressman, because you are in the wrong. It's like wrong person for the right job, 'di ba? Parang mali yung ina-applyan mo, because if you just want to help elevate the poor, then a foundation would work, and you don't even have to be in public office or to have a public position to be able to do that. We don't have to be running for public office to help our less fortunate kababayans. Okay, so please do vote. Vote wisely. Try to read. Everything is in the internet anyway, and there's a lot of contested positions right now. Depends on where you are, but I think Filipinos abroad, we could only vote for the Congress, not for the senators, and we are only allowed to vote for one party list. And I know there's a lot of you thinking that the party list is not important. I have my own opinion about that, which we will have that discussion maybe after election. I will vote tomorrow myself. I registered already, and I'll vote tomorrow. I did already my list, and maybe once the list is out, then I would be brave enough to tell you the list that I have. I have a complete slate for the 12 senators, and of course, my party list. You are only allowed one vote for one party list, meaning with all the many party lists that are available or running right now, each voters you are only allowed to vote for one. That's why there's a lot of studying and research that I did just to make sure that I have the right person or the right individual and the right party list. So with that, again, Sunday, it's the 11th of May is Mother's Day. So please, just you don't have to give gifts to your parents if you don't have it to your mother. Just be grateful. A simple thank you, a simple hug, a simple kiss on the cheek is good enough. If you have extra, take them out. Or if you want to save, just give them cook something, do something special. It doesn't have to be lavish. Just express your gratitude and and shower them with blessings. Just be thankful and grateful and show them how much you care. And I would like to make sure that while they are still around, they are already appreciated. Don't wait until the last minute and don't wait until they're gone before you would be able to appreciate their value and what they have done to your lives. So, all the mothers, I pray that good health, especially all the mothers, good health, and the wealth, definitely it's there. And it's just the health that is most important for them. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the world. And with that, I hope you enjoyed our show for tonight and for today rather. At maraming salamat for your continued support for our show. At sa alam mo ba? Um, and before I close the show, I always remind people to be kind. You can never go wrong with kindness. And any act of kindness that you do to people, it will come back to you in so many ways, in different times, with different people, in different situations. And I added for 2025, I added when you wake up in the morning, choose to be happy. Because when you choose to be happy, it will set the whole mood of the whole day. It's different. It's not easy, but manifest happiness in your life, because through this manifestation, it's like the law of attraction. You attract all the positivity in your world, in your experience, in your zone. And with that, maraming salamat again to everybody. I'll see you tomorrow for Dear Kuya Josh for another letter, and it's a brand new episode tomorrow as well. Thank you again for tuning in, and please do share, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share the shows. And again, happy viewing to our Team Replay and Team Share. Good night, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy your mom. Have a good celebration and be thankful, be grateful for their lives. Okay? Bye, everybody. Take care.